All right, well, welcome back, everybody, to the Raider Roster Report. This is Raider Sparks coming at you with another episode. We're just a few days away from the 2024 NFL Draft, so thought I'd come out and have a little fun. Definitely been covering the draft a lot here on the channel, and thanks for everybody who's been listening and subscribing. Michael, thanks for the useful tips on some players that I hadn't really considered, so I appreciate that. You'll actually see one of them in one of my mock drafts today, so thanks for that. But please like, share, subscribe to the video. And yeah, we'll get into it here in a second. So I just want to recap. I gave 5 keys to the Raiders' success this season, even before the quarterback situation. 2 of them were the offensive line. One being be able to block in short yardage, establish a side or up the middle to get those needed 1 yards. We can't have so many 0 to flat, just nothing running plays anymore. So we have to definitely establish a side. Last year, I'm not sure what the power side was, so definitely something we need to address in the draft. I definitely think we have the hole there at the right tackle spot still, but we'll get into that when we get to the draft. The other thing with the offensive line, we have to be able to block with 5 guys. We got to get more guys out in the pattern sooner. So we definitely need a strong pass protector as well to come in and help bolster this offensive line. The third key to victory was adding a receiver with some deep threat ability, ideally with size. Brian Thomas Jr. is my perfect guy, but I don't think we're taking a receiver in the first round, so he's kind of not going to make the list. But if you haven't checked out the My Guys video, I put out a My Guys video, which is more of the players that I really liked early in the process. Now that we're a little later in the process, I also put out a video with about 85 guys, some draftable players and UDFA guys that I really like, that have had good sort of off-season workouts, all-star games, that type of thing. And in this video, we're just going to go and try to put it together 5 different mock drafts. So we have 8 picks. That would be 40 players that I think the Raiders should and maybe will target during the upcoming draft. And with that said, sorry if I look down a little bit, but I just want to give you a little flavor of what I did with the drafts. And just so you know, it's the 2 other keys to victory. One would be the number 4 would be a playmaking defensive back. Definitely we could use that in our secondary. And it doesn't necessarily, ideally it'd be an outside cornerback, but it doesn't really have to be. Just a playmaking defensive back, I think, would be fine. This is kind of the Kansas City model: put the best athletes in the defensive backfield, and wherever they play, and just make plays, and that's really what we need. And then the 5th key would be more of a difference maker on the team, whether it be quarterback, defensive player, even if it's a position that we feel right now is a position of strength, like a dominant safety. Both of our starting safeties have 1 year left on their deal. Both of our starting linebackers only have 1 year left on their deal. One of our edges, Malcolm, has 1 year left on his deal. So any type of difference maker that we can get to add now and kind of looking towards the future but can contribute now would be huge for the team. And then so what I did was so I've got 5 running backs in these 5 mock drafts, 5 receivers, 6 offensive tackles, 5 guards, 5 cornerbacks. And so those are the 5 positions right there that in all of the mock drafts I do, at least one of those. I only doubled up on one of the mock drafts and positions. Obviously with the tackle spot, I doubled up on one of the mocks for that. And this is the only position I did that with. I have 3 edges, 3 linebackers, 1 quarterback, 1 tight end, 1 defensive tackle. And that's how it played out. So those are 40 players right there that I'm going to go through. I won't go through it in real detail. I'm going to put the description. I'll put each draft, and if you could rank it for me, or even just let me know who the best one is, what you feel would be the best draft. So I'll do mock 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I'll list out the players with the rounds and things like that. And if anybody hasn't ever done this, multiple mock drafts, to be able to find the players and not double up in positions, the players that you like, the players that you think are fits, and then a realistic draft target. So I use PFN a lot to try to figure out where they are. And a couple of the players are a little fudged or kind of up and down, but I'll talk about those when I get to them. So, and then only 1 player I switch positions that they have them listed as a cornerback, but I think ultimately they're going to be a nickel or more of a safety, so I kind of put them in that category. Just kind of do that just to make this exercise a little easier, but also I think it's pretty realistic for that particular player as well. So that's kind of the flavor of the draft. So let's get into it. Again, I'll put it in In the description as well, I'll list them out so you don't have to, in case you forget or don't listen to the whole thing, just look at the description and want to vote on which mock you think is the best one. Please do that. But anyway, so mock draft number 1. Round 1, we went Talisi Fuaga. Round 2, Edgerrin Cooper. Round 3, Mikhail Corley as a receiver. Round 4, Andrew Phillips out of Kentucky for the cornerback. Round 5, Tanner Bortolini, guard or center probably, but I would have him as a guard from Wisconsin. 6th round, Brennan Jackson, the edge out of Washington State. 7th round, I have Thomas Harper, safety out of Notre Dame. And then to finish out this particular draft in round 7, Carson Steele, running back out of UCLA. So that's mock draft number 1. Mock draft number 2, I've got Troy Fautanu, offensive tackle out of Washington. Max Melton, cornerback out of Rutgers for round 2. Round 3, Junior Colson, linebacker out of Michigan. And then round 4, Jermaine Burton, wide receiver from Alabama. Round 5, Mason McCormick, guard out of South Dakota State. And this is one of the players that's fudged a little bit. He has been PFF 5th round, a lot of 4th round, some 3rd round. I think he's closer to 3rd round than 5th round. But for this exercise and for the Raiders, I think it makes sense. He's super athletic, but position versatility, he's only played the left guard spot, which is fine. He's really good at it, and I would love to have him on the team, but I put him in the 5th round here for us. And then 6th round for this draft, Malik Mustapha, safety out of Wake Forest. And then Mo Kamara, round 7 out of Colorado State, edge rusher. Again, he usually in PFN, he's 6th round, but a lot of times late 6th round. So if he did slip to the 7th, I think a team might take a shot in the 5th round because he's really good. He's just not for everybody. He's a undersized edge, and so not every team's going to want that. But his production in college is unmistakable. His Shrine Game performance was really good. So he had a really good offseason. So I could see him going much higher than this, but for this exercise, we did that. And then to round out this mock draft, Tyrone Tracy, running back out of Purdue. And again, he's kind of borderline in PFM, usually 6th, late 6th, sometimes 7th round. So that's not much of a stretch, I don't think, but we'll see what the draft community, what happens in the draft in a couple days. So mock draft number 3, I've got us taking in round 1, Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback out of Toledo. Round 2, offensive tackle Kingsley Suamatia out of BYU. Round 3, Jonathan Brooks, running back out of Texas. Round 4, Brandon Coleman, guard out of TCU. Round 5, I have McKinley Jackson, defensive tackle out of Mississippi State. Then round 6, I've got Cornelius Johnson, wide receiver out of Michigan. Round 7, Tyrese Knight, and thank you, Michael, for letting me know, linebacker out of UTEP. I've got him on here as the linebacker. And then round out this draft, I've got safety Evan Williams out of Oregon. And again, it's another guy that's typically sometimes late 5th, a lot of 6th, late 6th, and even sometimes in the 7th round. So that one's going to be kind of borderline. But he had a great Shrine Bowl and really, really strong offseason so far. So that was mock draft number 3. Mock draft number 4. So let me know how it's going, guys. Definitely look at the description. And please vote on which mock you like the best for theirs. If you don't like any of them, let me know that too. That's fine as well. So the 4th mock draft, I've got round 1, quarterback Michael Penix out of Washington. Round 2, Jalen Polk, wide receiver out of Washington. Offensive tackle in the 3rd round out of Washington, Roger Rosengarten. So I went with the all Washington draft here to begin with. And then round 4, Dadrian Taylor Demerson, safety out of Texas Tech. Round 5, Dylan Lobby, running back out of New Hampshire. Round 6, Nathan Pritchett, cornerback out of Auburn. Round 7, Caden Wallace, guard out of Penn State. And a lot of times they have him in the round 6 as well. But I have seen some 7-rounders, so I kind of put him there. Actually, I think he might go like in the 4th round. But we'll see. He had a great Shrine Bowl. He was almost a 4-year starter, I think, at Penn State at right tackle. But then the Shrine Bowl, you could see they put him at right guard, and that's all he played at the Shrine Bowl. So you know what the NFL thinks. And then to round out this draft, McAllen Castles, tight end out of Tennessee. So that kind of gives you a little bit there. And then the final mock draft, number 5. Let's see what we got here. I've got guard in the first round, Graham Barton. He's too good to pass up. If the Raiders went that way, probably be a trade down situation, but he's really good. And I can see them still liking him as tackle as well. So, and then I've got in the second round, Chris Braswell, edge out of Alabama. Then I've got in the third round, wide receiver, Ricky Pearsall out of Florida. Again, that Arizona State connection. And then the fourth round, I've got Mike Sanderstill out of Michigan as a cornerback. Fifth round, I've got offensive tackle out of Pitt, Matt Concalves. And then I've got, in the sixth round, Isaac Guerendo, running back out of Louisville. And then in the seventh round, I've got Miles Harden. And I moved him from cornerback to safety out of South Dakota. Or is it North Dakota? I forget. Anyways, great player, but I think he's a nickel. But I know he's a lot of outside cornerback, but I think he might be a safety. So I put him as that. And then this is where I doubled up because of Matt Concalves. I took him in the fifth round as our tackle, but I doubled up on tackle in this one. I took Frank Crum out of Wyoming for their offensive tackle. And so that's my 40 guys. Those are my 5 mock drafts. Please check the description. See what you think. Definitely like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know. Next video I do, I'm going to do my perfect Raiders mock draft. And spoiler alert, there might be a trade in there. And I'll also go through the priority UDFA as well. So I'll probably give maybe 20, 25 guys that I think the Raiders should target that PFM is showing that not drafted that I think could add value to the team as well. So that'll be the next video. I'll do it right before the draft. Probably put it out Wednesday night, something like that, or maybe Thursday morning. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you think of the 5 mock drafts I came up with. If you want to share a mock draft of your own, again, try to make it realistic as possible. Take a look at some of the different websites where they have them going. I wouldn't really look too much at the consensus. I think that's kind of, it's a good guide to find the players, but I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the consensus has. I think some of these mock draft sites are a little bit better. PFM seems to be the most accurate. PFF is, to me, they use their own analytics and they're pretty set on their ways. And so some of the picks I agree with, some I not so much. And they don't, you know, I'm not a subscriber, so maybe I don't get all the players, so I don't see as many players on there. But anyways, so I use PFM as sort of the guiding basis for the draft. And again, it's really difficult to do multiple mock drafts to get the players in the right positions, to get all the positions that you want to cover. It's challenging, so give it a shot. But let me know your best mock, and then I'll put mine out again on Wednesday night or Thursday. Anyways, thanks for joining. This is Raider Sparks. Thanks for joining the Raider Roster Report, and I'll catch you next time.